Here's a truth many men don't want to hear. The harder you try to impress women, the less attractive you often become. Most men believe women are primarily attracted to looks, money, or status. Those things can help, but they are not the real trigger of attraction. Greetings to all, and welcome back to Magnetic Desire, my channel. I'm Jessica, and today we'll discuss there's a controversial truth that most males are unaware of. The most men out means they don't want or never disclosed. Women are not the primary demographic. Attracted to physical appearance, financial gain, or even status. Although those items may prove advantageous, they are not the genuine catalysts of attraction. What women naturally respond to, often without even realizing it, is a man's energy. It is probable that you have encountered it previously. A man walks into a chamber and somehow folks notice him. He's not strictly the tallest, the wealthiest, or the most handsome, yet women seem content around him. They guffaw at his jokes. They lean in when he speaks. Meanwhile, another man who may appear better on paper is disregarded. Why? Because affinity often has less to do with what a man has and more to do with how he conducts himself. Many males are taught the wrong factors about attraction. They're instructed to impress women, seek validation, or constantly illustrate their worth. But the strange truth is that the tougher a man attempts to impress, the more he often pushes attraction away. Women tend to gravitate toward men who put off a certain calm, grounded, assured energy. Not arrogance, not boisterous dominance, but a quiet awareness that he knows who he is and where he's going. It's an energy that communicates stability, direction, and emotional control. This kind of presence cannot be disguised for long. It appears up in small things. How a man communicates, how he listens, how he reacts under duress, and how secure he is in his own skin. In this video, we're going to break down the specific qualities that create this kind of vitality. Think of this as a guide for men who want to understand attraction beyond the superficial level. Because once you comprehend the energy women naturally respond to, you'll realize something startling. Attraction isn't something you pursue, it's something you convey. 1. Halt attempting to impress women. One of the biggest mistakes many males make is constantly attempting to impress women. It sounds logical at first. If you want someone to like you, you attempt to show them your best characteristics. You attempt to demonstrate your achievements, your money, your intelligence, or even how amusing you are. But here is the controversial truth. The more a man attempts to impress, the less attractive he often becomes. Why? Because striving too hard to impress usually conveys one hidden message: I need your approval. And individuals can feel that energy very rapidly. When a man is always attempting to prove himself, it creates strain in the interaction. He might talk too much about himself, attempt too hard to be funny, or perpetually look for signs that the woman likes him. Instead of appearing assured, he starts to appear dubious and approval-seeking. Attraction usually operates in the opposite direction. Women tend to experience more comfortable around men who are relaxed and confident in themselves. A man who doesn't feel the need to continually establish his value often appears more confident. He is merely being himself. He is present in the moment, not performing. This kind of energy is tranquil and genuine. Instead of focusing on impressing someone, concentrate on connecting with them. Ask concerns, listen carefully, share your thoughts honestly. Let the conversation flow without attempting to control how you are perceived. A man who is satisfied with who he is doesn't hurry to prove anything. He knows his value without needing constant validation from others. And oddly enough, that attitude is often what makes people intrigued about him. Imagine two gents at a small gathering. One individual spends the whole evening chatting about his employment, his expensive car, and the locales he has traveled. He is obviously trying to demonstrate everyone how successful he is. Another fellow is relaxed. He listens to individuals, asks thoughtful questions, and occasionally reveals his own experiences without exaggerating them. He chuckles easily and doesn't seem concerned about impressing anyone. Over time, individuals naturally gravitate toward the second man. The conversation feels simpler around him. He seems more genuine and more confident. The instruction here is straightforward. Confidence is not about proving your value. It is about being comfortable enough that you don't have to. When a man ceases trying to impress and starts merely being present, his energy shifts, and that quiet confidence is often far more attractive than any endeavor to perform. Section 2. Attention is not appeal. Many males confuse attention with attraction. This is one of the most prevalent misunderstandings when it comes to relationships. Just because a woman speaks to you, laughs with you, texts you, or spends time around you does not automatically imply she is attracted to you. People relish attention in general. It feels wonderful to be noticed. It feels excellent when someone listens, compliments you, or makes you feel significant. Women are no different. They can appreciate a man's attention without necessarily feeling romantic curiosity. This is where many men become perplexed. They believe that if they give enough attention, eventually attraction will materialize. They send long messages, continually check in, always respond immediately, and strive to be available at all times. But attraction rarely develops from constant availability. In many instances, too much attention too fast can actually diminish attraction. It removes ambiguity. It diminishes excitement. It also indicates that the man may not have much else going on in his life. Men who comprehend attraction respond differently. They don't rush to grant unlimited attention to someone they scarcely know. Instead, they concentrate on living their own lives while learning to know the other person, naturally. This doesn't mean disregarding women or playing diversions. It simply implies not overinvesting too early. Healthy attraction grows when two individuals slowly discover each other. It expands through shared moments, conversation, curiosity, and emotional intimacy. When everything is given too soon, the experience becomes less fascinating. Men who continually chase attention often end up being seen as just a source of validation, not a romantic companion. The key concept is simple. Attention is simple to give, but attraction must be developed. Imagine a man who meets a woman and immediately begins messaging her throughout the entire day. Every morning, he sends a pleasant morning message. Every evening, he checks in again. If she takes longer to respond, he sends another message just to preserve the conversation continuing. At first, she may appreciate the attention. It feels flattering. But over time, the excitement diminishes because there is no space for inquiry. Now consider another man who relishes talking with her, but also has his own schedule, interests, and responsibilities. When they converse, he is engaged and present, but he does not feel the need to continually fill every situation with messages. Their conversations feel more equitable. There is room for anticipation and interest. The difference is straightforward. One individual is pursuing attention, while the other is allowing attraction to develop naturally. Section 3. Women observe calm confidence. One trait many men misunderstand about attraction is what confidence genuinely appears like. A majority of people imagine confidence as being boisterous, dominant, or always striving to be the center of attention. But in actuality, the kind of energy that inherently attracts people is usually much peaceful. It's termed calm confidence. Calm confidence is the capacity to be comfortable with yourself without needing to prove it to everyone around you. It's not about showing off, competing with other men, or attempting to control every circumstance. Instead, it shows up in the manner a man carries himself. A man with serene confidence does not despair when conversations become quiet. He does not rush to occupy every silence. He does not feel compelled to captivate everyone in the room. He simply remains relaxed and present. That kind of energy is evident. Many males know the sensation of being nervous in social situations. When you sense pressure to perform, your mind begins racing. You start overthinking everything you say. You wonder if you appear interesting enough, amusing enough, or impressive enough. That tension is something individuals can sense. Calm conviction works differently. Instead of attempting to control how others see you, you become comfortable with whatever transpires in the moment. If a joke doesn't strike, it doesn't disturb you. If a conversation slows down, you remain relaxed. If someone disagrees with you, you don't instantaneously feel the need to defend yourself. This kind of visceral steadiness creates a sense of stability, and stability in social interactions. Women often note men who remain calm, even when situations become ambiguous. It demonstrates that the man is not easily shaken by minor social pressures. He believes himself enough to remain grounded. This does not mean being frigid or distant. Calm confidence can still be passionate, welcoming, and engaging. The distinction is that the man is not desperately attempting to control the outcome of every interaction. Another essential part of calm confidence is perseverance. Many males hurry interactions because they feel pressure for things to happen fast. They hurry conversations, rush relationships, and hurry emotional connection. But confidence is often delayed and unwavering. It does not feel the need to force progress. When a man passes through existence at his own pace, it signals that he is comfortable with who he is. He does not depend on immediate consent from others to feel secure. And that vitality is powerful because it is uncommon. In a world where many individuals are anxious about how they are perceived, the character who remains serene, steady, and self-assured naturally jumps out. Not because he is noisier than everyone else, but because he is more anchored than everyone else. Section 4. Neediness drives women away. This is a hard truth many males need to witness. Neediness silently destroys attraction. Most males don't realize when they are being demanding. In their mind, they believe they are just being compassionate, attentive, or demonstrating interest. But underneath those actions, there is often a fundamental problem. They are searching validation. Neediness occurs when a man starts contingent on a woman's reactions to feel comfortable about himself. If she replies immediately, he feels great. If she takes longer to reply, he feels apprehensive. If she compliments him, his mood rises. If she seems distant, he abruptly feels insecure. When your emotional state starts depending on someone else's behavior, that energy becomes noticeable. It generates pressure in the interaction, and pressure often drives attraction aside. Here's the uncomfortable aspect. Many men have constructed their entire conduct around chasing approval. They overextend. They confess for minor things. They continually try to prove they are good people. They fret too much about saying the perfect phrase. All of this signals one message: please like me. And that message is rarely attractive. Attraction tends to develop when a male has his own emotional stability. A man who is engaged building his existence, pursuing his goals, and improving himself does not put all his attention on one person he just encountered. But many males do the opposite. They encounter a woman they find attractive, and abruptly their world begins to revolve around her. Attention, their routines alter, their focus shifts, their confidence increases and falls contingent on her responses. Men need to come up to this pattern. If your contentment depends on whether someone messages you back, that's not attraction. That's dependency. And vulnerability weakens your existence. A man with robust energy is intrigued in a woman, but he does not need her approval to feel valuable. His confidence stems from his own actions, his objectives, and the direction of his existence. That kind of independence is potent. So here's the honest advice many men avoid hearing. Build a life that does not revolve around seeking validation. Develop your abilities, improve your health, work toward meaningful objectives. Create friendships and experiences that make your existence fulfilling. When your life becomes rich and purposeful, your interactions with women alter naturally. You are no longer approaching them from a place of emotional desire. Instead, you address them as someone who is already grounded and complete. And that shift in energy makes a bigger difference than most males realize. Section 5. Purpose is more alluring than appearances. Many males spend a lot of time worrying about their physical appearance. They think attraction is mostly about height, muscles, clothes, or facial attributes. While appearance can matter at first glance, it is rarely the object that keeps someone engaged over time. What often matters more is purpose. Purpose simply implies having direction in your life. It indicates you are working towards something meaningful. It could be building a profession, developing a skill, growing a firm, pursuing education, improving your health, or creating something valuable. A citizen with purpose moves through existence differently. He awakens up with tasks to do. His mind is focused on development. His timing is not spent continually worrying about who likes him or who doesn't. Instead, he is focused on developing a life that matters to him. This creates an entirely distinct kind of energy. When a male has purpose, he becomes more disciplined with his leisure. He becomes more focused. He becomes more assured in the direction he is traveling. These characteristics naturally alter the way he speaks, the way he conducts himself, and the way he interacts with others. People can sense when someone is traveling with direction. On the other hand, a man without purpose often becomes trapped in comparison. He worries about how he appears compared to other males. He frets about being judged. He spends too much time pursuing consent because he does not have a deeper mission guiding his existence. Without purpose, attention becomes the primary goal. With purpose, attention becomes less essential. This is something many men need to comprehend clearly. Attraction is not just about how someone looks in a brief moment. It is also about the vitality of progress. A man who is actively constructing something, improving his existence step by step, often becomes more intriguing over time. His conversations have substance, his decisions have direction, his life has movement, and movement creates momentum. That momentum can be sensed in everyday interactions. When a man is eager about what he is constructing, it naturally manifests in his voice and behavior. He does not need to continually talk about it or boast about his objectives. The consistency of his actions speaks for itself. This is why purpose often surpasses appearance. Looks may attract attention rapidly, but direction and ambition hold interest much longer. So instead of continually worrying about how attractive you appear on the outside, focus more on becoming a man who is actively advancing forward in life. Because a man with purpose conveys a type of energy that cannot readily be faked and people naturally perceive it. Section 6. Emotional control is potent. One of the most underrated characteristics a man can develop is emotional control. Not emotional suppression, not appearing to feel nothing, but the capacity to manage your emotions instead of being controlled by them. Many males struggle with this more than they realize. You've undoubtedly experienced moments where your mood abruptly changes because of something tiny. Maybe someone says something that irritates you. Maybe a woman you like behaves in a way you didn't foresee. Maybe you feel ignored, disrespected, or misinterpreted. In those moments, it becomes very simple to react emotionally. Some males become defensive, some become frustrated, some become excessively sensitive. Others strive too hard to fix a predicament immediately. But emotional reactions often help circumstances worse. When a man loses control of his emotions readily, it signals that his internal state is fragile. It demonstrates that external events can rapidly disturb his sense of stability. People observe that energy even if nothing is said directly. Emotional control produces a very distinct presence. A man with robust emotional control does not despair when things don't go his way. He does not react to every trivial problem like it is a personal assault. Instead, he remains steady and considers before responding. This steadiness changes the complete dynamic of how people interact with him. When you are emotionally controlled, you stop reacting to every circumstance immediately. You hesitate. You observe what is occurring. You choose how to respond instead of allowing your feelings take over. That ability alone separates tranquil, confident individuals from those who are continually struggling in their interactions. Another essential part of emotional control is not seizing everything personally. Many men instinctively assume that if someone behaves distant or uninterested, it must signify something negative about them. They proceed to overthink, doubt themselves, or become agitated. But life is more complex than that. People have moods, tension, distractions, responsibilities, and personal challenges that have nothing to do with you. When you understand this, you stop reacting emotionally to every small alteration in behavior around you. Your mindset becomes more secure. Emotional control also means you are not constantly pursuing emotional highs. You don't depend on attention, compliments, or approbation to feel confident. Your disposition remains relatively balanced regardless of what is happening around you. That kind of inner stability is potent. It demonstrates that you are anchored. It demonstrates that your confidence comes from within, not from external reactions. And when a man develops that level of emotional control, his presence naturally becomes stronger. Not noisier, not aggressive, but steady, tranquil, and difficult to shake. Section 7. The man who travels away has the authority. One of the most misunderstood concepts in relationships is power. Many men believe power comes from control, dominance, or trying to hang on to someone at all costs. But the truth is often the reverse. Real power often pertains to the person who is willing to walk away. This does not imply being cold, negligent, or treating people badly. It means something much deeper. It signifies you are not so emotionally dependent on someone that you are willing to tolerate anything just to keep them around. Many males fall into this pitfall without realizing it. They start lowering their standards. They tolerate disrespect. They ignore behaviors that obviously bother them. They continually adjust themselves just to avoid losing the relationship. Over time, they begin to lose their perception of self. Why does this happen? Because they believe that losing the woman would be worse than losing their own self-respect. So, they hold on closely, praying things will change. They remain even when they feel unpleasant, undervalued, or perpetually uncertain. But here's the uncomfortable truth many men need to know. When you demonstrate that you will tolerate anything just to stay, your value often decreases. People naturally regard those who respect themselves. A man who has precise boundaries sends a distinct message. He demonstrates that his time, energy, and emotional investment are valuable. He is willing to devote effort, care, and consideration, but he is not willing to abandon his standards just to maintain someone intrigued. This generates a very distinct dynamic. When a man knows he can stroll away if something is not healthy for him, his conduct becomes more equitable. He is not continually attempting to hold everything together. He is not afraid to express what he genuinely thinks or feels. That level of self-respect alters the energy of the interaction. It also removes the sense of desperation that often diminishes attraction. When someone feels like they are your only option, your behavior can become unduly cautious and approval-seeking. But when you know your destiny will continue going forward regardless, you become more relaxed and authentic. Walking away is not about intimidating people or creating controversy. It is about having enough confidence in your own life that you do not remain in situations that repeatedly make you feel tiny. In plain terms, the man who can walk away is the man who is not controlled by terror of loss. Conclusion: the controversial truth. Here's a statement that might make some men uncomfortable, but it's the truth. Most men are pursuing women the incorrect way, and it's not their fault, because no one ever tells them the true rules. Society teaches men to impress, to provide, to perform, and to constantly pursue approval. But the reality is startling. Attraction is not earned through labor, gifts, or words. It is sensed through energy. Yes, you heard that correctly. You could have the perfect body, the best employment, or even limitless charm. And still, if your vitality is needy, reactive, or uncertain, women will often drift away without you even realizing it. Conversely, a male who is grounded, purposeful, serene, and emotionally steady can effortlessly draw attention even without attempting. It's a truth that most males overlook, and it's controversial because it turns everything we're taught about courting on its cranium. This isn't about manipulation, it's about self-mastery. It's about building an existence where your value is not dependent on someone else noticing you. When you do that, attraction ceases being a struggle. Women start noticing because energy speaks louder than speech or actions. You don't pursue, it occurs naturally. I want to hear from you. I want to know if you've ever experienced situations where attentiveness didn't equal attraction, or instances where your energy alone altered the dynamic with women. Drop your experiences in the comments. I read every single one, and I personally reach out to communicate with viewers who are serious about comprehending this. This is your chance to cease guessing and start noticing the energy that genuinely works. Remember, attraction is a feeling. It cannot be coerced. Stop pursuing approval, stop being dependent, focus on developing your own life and energy, and watch how individuals naturally respond to you. Your voyage to understanding attraction begins here, and I'm excited to hear your experiences. Comment below and let's connect. This is not just guidance. It's a reality that very few men genuinely